Something that has made the biggest difference with my health and how I feel and my energy levels is iodine, and that's something that I think a lot of people are missing out on and are basically robbing themselves of their full capacity. So I realized when I started taking it that it had a big effect. Like, I actually live in mold right now, and I had like a big decrease in my like mental capacity, my energy levels in general. It felt like I got really knocked out by like colds. I didn't feel like exercising and things like that. And I did notice all of those things increased when I started taking iodine, and I slowly increased from like 1 drop of Lugol's iodine. Actually, I started with kelp with 1 tablet, and I slowly worked up like 2 tablets the next week, because iodine can actually detoxify a lot of things that we're exposed to on a daily basis, like bromine, and when you detox that, you can feel really bad. So it's good to make sure you're getting all the cofactors and slowly increasing. So I take it with selenium and lots of salt, and there are some other cofactors like vitamin C and just all the nutrients, as well as like boron. Then one day, it was right after I had been doing a big project for work, and I forgot to take it and I didn't realize it, but I was like exhausted by like, I don't know, 3 p.m. I was like, what is going on? Why am I so tired? And then I realized I didn't take iodine, and it was just absolutely mind blowing, because it felt like I could not possibly function any longer at 3 p.m., which made sense because I had gotten like 4 hours of sleep one night and like was just generally undercutting the amount of sleep that I got, and just working really hard, like longer hours than normal. But it just goes to show how much that I had become capable of with iodine. And then, of course, the next day I got it, and I felt like completely back to how I was again. So that really made me want to share how good it is, but you really have to be careful, because some people have like Hashimoto's or other like intolerances, or maybe you're just really toxic, so you could have a bad reaction to iodine. So I can't recommend that, Lugol's. I'm just telling you about my experience for entertainment purposes. And yeah, it's really had a big effect. If you want to play it super safe, then you could try kelp, or maybe even food sources like milk in the US is a good source, or seaweeds and seafood is a really good source. But a lot of sources seem to argue that what we get in the US, the recommendation of like 125 milligrams, is vastly insufficient actually for optimal function. So iodine can actually protect you from cretinism in the womb when your mom's pregnant. If she doesn't get enough iodine, you can have severe like mental disabilities, and even in children, when they are lacking in iodine, their IQ goes down, and then when they're given enough iodine, their IQ goes up. So that's obviously way more than what we get here. And they have way less incidences of breast cancer, and that's another thing that iodine can potentially help with, is breast cancer, because it can help with your hormones, it can help with reducing extra estrogen, it can help fight like fibroids, and just fibrotic tissue in general, and like cysts and things like that can potentially help with acne. And it can help counter our exposure to like chlorine, because chlorine is a halide like iodine. So it's really important to make sure you're getting enough iodine so you can prevent the toxic effects of things that we're exposed to that are also halides, like bromide, fluoride, which some of us have fluoride in our water, which some may want to argue about, but it can potentially have negative effects in too big of quantities. I don't think there's a reason to be like drinking it. So iodine is a great like protector for that, and it can also support your pineal gland, which can help with like your sleep cycle. And then there are more like esoteric things that are believed about, and it can help you with like imagination and more like spirituality. It's called like the third eye. So that like intuitive like aspect it can help with. So yeah, I think even for the more concrete reasons, it's insanely helpful, especially for me. It's like really improved the quality of my life in ways that I was taking for granted for a long time before I went without it. So, yeah, definitely play it safe. And if you do have Hashimoto's or something, it's best to talk with like a functional doctor. And it's really best to work with a practitioner because you don't want to experience any of the die off symptoms or anything like that.